The Bachelorette, week 5. We're in Minneapolis, Minnesota. Let's get it. Hi there, Simpli Subbies. Welcome back to the Simpli Stacey YouTube channel. It's your girl, Stacey. Go ahead, hit that subscribe button. Hit the notification bell so you can always be notified each and every time I post. This is another reality recap. We are doing The Bachelorette, week number 5. The guys, the fellas, they are in Minneapolis, Minnesota, which is Michelle's hometown. Let's get it. Real quick before we do, I want to go ahead and show you guys if you are looking for Christmas gifts. It is the week of Thanksgiving. Christmas is right around the corner. If you guys have anybody who is interested in entrepreneurship, success, living their best lives intentionally, check out my book, Secure Success, A Proven Plan to Prospering Personally and Professionally. It is available in hardcover, paperback, and ebook on Amazon.com. Also on the Barnes & Noble online store as well. And then also my Simpli Stacey merch, hardcover journals, mugs, fashion graphic tees, and sweatshirts, and joggers, and things of that nature, motivational, inspirational. Check out the Simpli Stacey store at staceyheldeston.com/shop for all of your holiday needs. Okay, know that. But we definitely have candles too. Okay. Bachelorette week 5. Last week, Michelle told the fellas that were remaining, hey guys, we about to take this thing on the road. We're going to my hometown of Minneapolis, Minnesota. And I'm like, yes! The Bachelor Nation gods have spoken. And we are back at it. I have loved The Bachelor since day one because they are always taking these fancy trips. They always getting this free tour the world. I guess maybe they toured the U.S. this time. But anyway, they're starting in Minneapolis, and I'm here for it. So the guys are all packing. They're in their rooms. They're excited about going to Minneapolis. Michelle meets with her parents first at her childhood home, or I guess where they live now. I don't know if that's where she actually grew up, but I believe it is. She says that home is a reset for her, and she has 11 guys left. And basically, they can get to know her in her hometown. They can get to know her and what makes her who she is. Her dad wants her to have someone that makes her number one priority. And basically, that is what Michelle has been talking about the entire time. Guys, if you guys hear a little bit of noise, that is my heater. I live in Michigan and it is super cold, so my heat is on. And I'm actually up here by the unit. So that's why you hear that little buzzing noise. But just ignore it. It'll go off shortly. Anyway, so her dad definitely wants them to make her number one priority. She said she has not been feeling seen, and I guess her dad knows that as well. And so, yeah, that's basically where we are. First up is Joe. Joe gets the first one-on-one. Y'all know I have been shipping them since day one. I love Joe. Joe is my number one. He is also from Minneapolis, or at least Minnesota. I don't know if it's Minneapolis. But anyway, he is also from Minnesota. I think it is Minneapolis, though. He played high school ball. He played college ball. Michelle played college and high school ball. He was Mr. Basketball, Minnesota. She said she was runner-up for Miss Basketball. And it is perfect that she picks him for the first one-on-one date. And he's excited. She's excited. They're both back in their hometown. And I absolutely love it. I hope you guys do too. Let me know what y'all thought about her picking Joe for the first one-on-one date. I love them together. Like, I'm shipping them and I'm sending him to the finals. At least to the finals too. I think it's him and Nate. But we'll see how that all plays out. Okay, so basically they're downtown Minneapolis. They cross the street. They get into her SUV because really all the guys are there. And she's like, hey guys, welcome to Minnesota. Joe, want to go on this one-on-one date with me? He didn't get no date card, guys, right in front of everybody. She whisked him away across the street to her SUV. They kissed. I feel like the guy saw it, but I don't know. And then she takes the driver's seat, of course, because this is her day. And they go to the baseball stadium. The MLB, the Major League Baseball stadium for the Twins. And basically, Michelle is going to throw the first pitch of the game. And her and Joe come out onto the field. They say if she throws a strike to the maybe it's not at the game, but it is to their mascot. If she gets on strike, then she has to kiss Joe on the Jumbotron in front of the whole stadium full of people. Of course, whether she gets a strike or not, they call it a strike. Her and Joe kiss and make out. And I'm like, in their hometown, at the Twin Stadium. Guys, this is what dreams are made of. Like, literally. I'm like, this is their love story. It has been written for them. They had to go all the way to the Bachelor and the Bachelorette to find each other when they lived in the same state, at least, this entire time. Probably the same city. Okay. So anyway, they definitely kiss, and it's like, you know, I feel fireworks. There are no fireworks, but I feel the fireworks and the sparks. Okay. So then they head over to her high school, and she's showing him around, like, this is where my locker was. I'm like, oh, she living out her high school dreams, because she definitely said if Joe was our high school, he would have been her crush. She played basketball, and, you know, it sounds like she didn't have the best track record of dating in high school, and I think she said she was like a late bloomer, so she may not have even dated in high school, which means she would have just loved for him to be like meeting her to the locker, walking her from class. She shows him the trophy case and all of her like pictures and trophies of when they won championships, and you know, you could tell that he was like enjoying it because, you know, he would probably like to show her that of his hometown one day as well. They go into the game to the court. They've gone to the court at the high school where she played most of her games and became a basketball player. And you know, they play a game of one-on-one, and it is so cute. Y'all remember the Love and Basketball episode what I really loved when they had that game, and Joe was like killing it, and then they had a little one-on-one with everybody there, but this time it's just the two of them. It was so perfect. She was like, oh, you gonna get beat by a girl in a dress? And he's like, oh, you're not about to win. I'm not gonna let you beat me. They had so much fun, so much cute banter. It wasn't like too competitive. It was fun. He wasn't letting her win. They were literally just playing. She did win. They actually sit down, I believe, in the bleachers, and they're having a chat, and he's talking to her about how he was raised and his dad, and basically he wasn't very open, and he's been trying to take the walls down, and she says that she has been too, and she knows that it's not comfortable, but she is seeing the benefits of it, and she is so appreciative that he has been doing the same, and he is, you know, he's glad that she recognizes that. The date card comes, the group date card comes for all the guys. There's Casey and Rodney and Martin and Leroy, Rick and Clayton, Olu, Chris S., Brandon. And so there's one person who is not on it who will be getting the one-on-one date. It says, meet me at the stadium, love, Michelle. So Nate, my boy Nate, is excited because he is getting the second one-on-one date. Now, those are the two guys who got the one-on-one dates this time are who I place in the final two. I don't know this for certain, but if I could call it, those are the two guys that Michelle likes a lot. Now, if y'all guys remember last week, Chris S. had this whole beef about Nate, talking about he thought he had it in the bag and all that stuff, and it's probably because Nate does have it in the bag, but Nate is just a confident man, and so is Joe, and neither one of them have ever been talking about the other men and how, you know, whatever. They just been playing their own game. So I think that's another reason why Nate actually gets it. One, she loves Nate too. She really likes Nate. And two, Chris S. did bring him up, and she's probably trying to get a feel for him herself. So Chris S. is mad. Like when I say y'all, he is mad. Honey, he is pissed. He says his plan basically backfired. So he told her that Nate thought he had it in the bag, and she needs to stop spending time with these people that think they got it in the bag and spend more time with people that actually make her feel seen and like him, okay? And I guess he thought he was going to get the one-on-one date, or he thought she should have been excited. He shouldn't have been on a group date. She should have been thanking him for calling it out and all this other stuff. Anyway, we back to Joe's one-on-one date. That's who getting the group date, and that's who getting the one-on-one date. Okay, so They are at dinner. They go to cheers to making new memories with each other, especially in their hometown. He opens up about his injuries and how basically he had an injury in college where he had to have surgery, and it basically ended his career, and he's very emotional, and that's a lot for a basketball player who thought they were probably going to go to the league, and to realize like, this is the end for me. What do I do next? Because basketball was life. That's what he said. Ball was life. She's like, I understand. You know, I too had a similar situation. Like, she didn't go to the WNBA. So, you know, they both had to fall back on something else. I think Joe's actually a realtor now, or real estate developer or something like that. So he did make something else of himself. He said that's when he decided he had to come back home. That's what brought him back to Minnesota or Minneapolis, and he just had to make a life for himself, and you can tell that they really bonded over that. She feels where he is coming from, you know, they kiss, and she feels like he is basically, you know, opening up to her tremendously. She definitely appreciates him being vulnerable with her. She gives him the one-on-one date rose, of course. Joe says, you know, a quote he loves the most is that the best things in life are on the other side of fear. And so he's in it to win it. And it is so amazing. And they ended on a Ferris wheel downtown, guys. It's just the two of them on a Ferris wheel. How freaking romantic. Oh, I love their story. She says they were two souls living side by side and not knowing, you know, that they would be finally brought together over something like The Bachelorette. Who knew? Okay, next up is the group date. Football stadium. They at the NFL Viking stadium. And basically, she's like, I got some people I want y'all to meet. They excited. You know, Clayton is there. He's a NFLer, or at least a former one. And they real excited. He like, yeah, this is my time to shine. She's like, I want to introduce y'all to some people. They like, yeah, the Vikings about to come out. We about to play football. Listen, the Vikings did come out, but it was not the players. It was not the NFL. It was some old men dressed up like Vikings in like the costume, like the LARPing and the medieval time. So they was like, she's like, I know you guys thought you were meeting Vikings, but these are the Vikings you guys get. So basically, all the guys have taken it upon themselves, or at least the majority of them, except for Chris S., to give her these small moments she was missing on the last group date. They really felt bad that she felt unseen. And so, like, before they go up to greet the guys, they all go up and greet her. So Rodney did their little handshake, their little one-on-one handshake. They kiss. That's the end of the handshake. And then Clayton gives her a hug after he does his turn. Chris is basically... he basically doesn't acknowledge this whole thing when he was the one who brought it up in front of all the guys and called them out on it, which is crazy. So basically, they're going to train to be Vikings, and then they're going to actually do like this Viking challenge, and the ultimate Viking will be crowned the ultimate Viking or whatever. So they go and get dressed. So, you know, they was like, okay, basically they out here highlighting Clayton, Olu, and I can't remember the last guy. Maybe I can't remember who the last guy was, but like they got their like vest on with their abs out, basically highlighting their abs. But then Chris S get this donkey leg, so he got 4 legs now. It's crazy. He had the worst costume. I know he just feeling like a clown at this point. Yeah, basically they have to do all this crazy crap, like eating whole fish with scales on it, and the Viking hash that got some kind of tongue and cheek. And it's crazy. And Brandon is just like, arr. They just like, you know, Chris is like, I'm not feeling this. I'm not about to do none of this foolishness. The rest of the men do it in stride. And then the last challenge is arm wrestling. Chris goes against Olu. Of course, Olu wins. Then there is Rodney and Brandon. And Rodney wins. And then last is Clayton and Martin, and Clayton wins. And then the ultimate Viking is Clayton. So he thought he was going to win this challenge, and he did. It was not a football challenge, but he still won. Next up is the after party. So after party, she says, like, I feel like y'all have listened to me. I think Michelle is really good about acknowledging when people have done what she's asked of them and making them feel like, I see you too. So she tells them, thank you. Y'all gave me my small moments. I really appreciate it. She talks to Clayton. She said he was at the forefront of her mind when she thought about this challenge. He is the one who won. He says that she's so poised all the time and confident. And she said she basically learned that from her dad. And he asked if she was always like that. They do make out, and he really does like her. Next up is Brandon. She loves Brandon. They definitely kiss. So she gives him a surprise. She says, I have a surprise for you. You was just so into eating that dang nasty fish. No more of those, but you will still have a Scandinavian fish. She feeds him Swedish fish. It's so cute. They're sweet. They make out. Then there's Casey, and he points out that the talk about the small moments, he took that to heart. Everyone did, kind of, except for Chris S. And he didn't have so much to say. Then there's the date card for Nate. And it says, I'm asking for a man who isn't afraid to test the waters. Love, Michelle. So Nate is excited about that. We're back to the group date, and Chris S. is basically spinning out. He's like talking to the guys about like, yeah, I don't understand. I brought this up to her, and she still picked Nate, and I don't understand. So I'm like, dang, he definitely got a vendetta against Nate. Nate don't even got nothing against you, sir. You just keep on coming for that man. Just focus on your date and make her feel good. He's like, yeah, she hasn't talked to anybody. She's pulled everybody. Now these men are pulling her. They're making their small moments. You ain't pull her, but you expect her to come talk to you because you gave her a bit of information about Nate last week. Boy, bye. Like, I am rolling my eyes. Casey does chat with her. Rodney and Rick chat with her. Chris S. never chats with her. And he's acting like she should pull him. Okay, anyway, Michelle comes back and is like, hey, everybody, how y'all doing? Chris, like, she talks to everybody but me. She basically gives out the day rose. And she gives it to Clayton, who not just only won the challenge, but also they had a good conversation. Chris S. is super duper saucy, talking about she talks to everybody but me. Next up is the one-on-one date. It's with Nate, my second favorite guy. And basically, they're on Lake Minnetonka. They're on a boat. It's like, okay, this is fun, sexy. They got their swim gear on. She's like, yeah, this is going to be a one-on-one date, but it's actually going to be a group date. She pulls up, grabs two of her girlfriends, Allie and Tia. And I was like, oh, that's cool. So he gets to be on a date with the three of them. And they're asking him questions. And basically the girls was like, they're going to be hard on him. But when it all comes down to it, it really wasn't. They do bring up the Chris S. situation. And they basically explains it. He's like, you know what? I think it was my confidence. He took it wrong. All I was saying is, will I get a date with her? It doesn't matter if it's this one. It will be one because I know the bond that and the connection that she and I have. And I'm just not worried about it. It's not that I had it all in the bag. They understand him. That's where I thought he was coming from. I'm sure that's where Michelle thought he was coming from. And so the girls actually like Nate. They love their chemistry. And they go ahead and leave. And they have their time together. They're in the water. They're making out. They're having a good time. Listen, I love me a yacht date. It is so nice. She said this is what she imagined. She grew up on the lake. This is what they do in the summers. She always imagined having a house on the lake with her family and doing this kind of stuff. Would he be, open to moving to Minnesota and stuff like that? They have a good talk. He's enjoying himself. He says her friends were sweet. They said that she's sweet. She's the most amazing person. They have this natural chemistry. And yeah, they're going to have fun times. She does say she's going to ask him some hard questions tonight. Chris S. is still spinning out. He keeps talking about how Nate this and Nate that while they're gone. But everybody got time for Chris. Well, the second part of the one-on-one date, they are at dinner. They're talking about communication and, what kind of ruined the last relationships they were in. And he says communication and being vulnerable. And she said, he's like, I want you to call me out if I'm doing something. And she was like, I will. He was like, and I know that and I like that about you. And he said, I could see that that's what you would be doing. She talks about her past relationship was a 3-year relationship, which was kind of abusive. She got really, really sick. He wasn't very supportive. And he basically left her in her time of need. She has to move home with her parents to take care of her. And come to find out, it was a toxic relationship, and that's why she was sick. It really wasn't anything. The doctors could never find anything. She was so emotional. He was there for her. He says he couldn't imagine ever taking advantage of her like that guy did. Guys, when I say Chris S is spinning out so much, he hops his foot in an Uber or a car, and he comes and interrupts their one-on-one date. He shows up at the one-on-one date. Nate is like, you're freaking weird. Like, what is going on? He's like, can I pull you for a minute? It's really important. Michelle's like looking back between both of them because she knows she really don't want to go, but she want to go see what he wants. So she's like, Nate, I'll be back. Nate is basically like, you're weird. You're weird, dude. Like in front of her, everything. They go outside. And basically, he says he's been feeling really insecure here. And he feels that because he got no time with her on the group date. And he told her about Nate last week. She picked him for the one-on-one. And he tried to warn her. She just like listening to him. Sir, you really are not making a good case for yourself. Because one, she's feeling Nate. And even if she wasn't feeling him, like this does not do you any service. So basically she says, you know what? She's a little bit taken aback by his approach. And that he was speaking for her. She wants a man who allows her to speak and supports her when she speaks her mind because she can handle herself. She don't really need that. She said, we're not on the same page, and basically I think I should walk you out. You should go home. So again, his plan backfires and she sends him home. She walks him out and then she goes back to her date with Nate. She rejoins him, let him know like, hey, I let Chris go home. She says it was hard, but she's very capable of making her own decisions, which is what Nate been saying the whole time. And that's what he told her girlfriends, like she's capable of making her own decisions. So I was really worried. She's been doing that. They go to the rooftop. There's fireworks, and of course they kiss. It is a lovely, lovely, lovely end to her date. She gives him the rose. Boom, pow, that is it. Chris S is gone. They're at the rose ceremony / cocktail hour. This is the top 10. So Joe, Clayton, and Nate already have roses from their dates. And she addresses Chris being going home. And she basically says, thank you for all of y'all for just being here and making me feel those small moments on the group date. Rick pulls her for a city stroll. I think it is so cute. She really likes Rick. They dance to this pianist playing outside. They have this his intense eye contact. That's what she says. But that's literally what he has. And she asks, would he consider moving to Minnesota? And he says yes, he really likes it. They kiss. Brandon, she brings him a birthday cake. So I guess it's his birthday, which is really cool. And she chats on with all the guys. So then Rodney takes him to the roof, and she said this is a small surprise. So she always creates these small moments, which is why she was like, this is how I am in dates, in relationships. And y'all didn't even do that for me, and that's why she was a little bit upset. So he's like, this is the best thing ever. She gives him goosebumps. They kiss up there on the rooftop where they're overlooking the whole city of Minneapolis. It is amazing. And then Martin, he says she's good at giving compliments, but when he hears her say this stuff to the other guys, it kind of makes him kind of feel away. But he said that he wants the women, he's like, but the women from Miami, they are kind of, they just want you to do everything for them. And she's like, what do you mean? He's like, they have they're high maintenance. She's like, well, what does that mean? He's like, they just want you to do everything for them. And she's like, I don't understand. It seemed like they had a little bit of confusion on what he was trying to say. And he's not feeling good about that conversation because he goes and talks to some other guys about it. Like, dang, I hope this ain't the last conversation I had with her because we're not really on the same page. And she doesn't know where I'm feeling. She talks to Olu. Olu thinks that Martin is just basically two-faced. Remember, Martin and Jamie were cool and Jamie was the snake. So Olu ain't been feeling him since then. Basically, they're at the rose ceremony. So Joe, Clayton, and Nate are already safe. Then so is Rick, Olu, Brandon, and she does give it to Martin, even though they had that little miscommunication. And then the final rose goes to Rodney. Eliminated is Leroy and Casey. And guys, they're going to get ready for their second week in Minnesota. That is it. Let me know what y'all thought about this week's episode of The Bachelorette. It is coming on again tonight, so I'm trying to get this out to you guys ASAP so I can film that one as well. Guys, let me know what you guys think. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Again, if you guys are looking for Christmas gifts, my book, Secure Success, A Proven Plan to Prospering Personally and Professionally, available on Amazon and Barnes & Noble online. And then also my Simpli merch at staceyhuddleston.com/shop. I can't wait to see what happens. I am definitely thinking Nate and Joe in the top 2. You guys let me know in the comments below who you guys think Michelle is going to pick at the end of this and her top 2. Give me her top 4 maybe if you guys can get that.